Folks, this is a massive one. Yes, it is Carson Cooper, rising sophomore on this men's basketball team. God, this is going to be a great one. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, we have a massive one today. It's a big one, and quite literally a big one. We are setting a show record for tallest guest to ever appear on Locked On Spartans. Folks, you all know why you're here. It's not to hear me blab. You're here to listen to Carson Cooper. Coop, thanks a ton for joining, man. How on earth are you doing this offseason?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on. It's been nice to just get with the guys and work on this camaraderie for this upcoming season.
For sure. And speaking of the guys, you're going to be joined by three of them this Sunday. Let's just get right into it because, hey, we're all about helping our favorite Spartans. It'll be you, Mady Sissoko, Jaxon, Kohler, Holloman at Pro Sports Zone in Livonia, Laurel Park Plaza Mall over there, signing autographs from 12:30 to 2 p.m. The biggest question that we'll have this entire chat, Carson, who gets the aux cord on the car ride over to Livonia this Sunday?
Well, I'm probably driving, so me. It'll be me.
Okay.
But second, I'll give it to Trey. That's the second option.
Okay.
I don't know what Mady listens to be honest. And I still have to get a read on Jaxon and what he's listening to these days. So I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Well, yeah, just an hour each way can't be too bad. So you're going to be the captain of the ship. Love it. What was the first autograph you ever signed? How old were you? Do you remember it, or was it just like a passing moment that you really don't even think about?
No, so it's kind of a funny story. When I was doing it, I felt so cringy, but I'm pretty sure it was after my junior year of high school. My little brother wanted a signed basketball so bad. I was like, nah, come on. I'm not even, this is me probably junior summer. And so my mom ordered one for him, and it was kind of like my birthday present for him. That was my first one I did. I signed it and did it for him. And he's got a nice display case. So that's what he got in his room. But
that's awesome. How many times have you practiced your autograph? Are we comfortable for Sunday? Are we going to hit our stride when we get in there on Sunday?
Yeah. So I've hit my stride. I started off, you start off not knowing, so you're writing your full name and everything.
Sure.
But I found it simpler. I just go Coop with it, and then
Simple.
It's just nice and easy. So.
What's it like just being recognized on campus? As obviously, hey, being a player on the men's basketball team at Michigan State, that's going to draw a lot of eyeballs on you, especially at a campus as big as Michigan State. But was it odd adjusting to people noticing who you were? Or since you're damn near 7 feet tall, you've probably been tall your whole life, were you kind of used to people just kind of gawking at you throughout your whole life?
Yeah, it's like what I had my entire life, but it's just boosted pretty much.
Sure.
It's just more people know my name and not just I'm a big dude, right? So it's cool. I'm a humble guy, so I just try to everyone that comes up to me, I just try to give them my attention and just make them feel like they're having a nice conversation. And I don't try to get too all right, just
big time them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm too big time yet.
No, we'll wait a little bit here. Yeah, we'll wait till your junior season, and then you'll start, pushing kids away, being nah, scram. So, no. I want to turn the clock back a little bit to the end of last season because you came along strong at the last few months of the season, especially after a year where a lot of people, myself included, thought that hey, you were just going to redshirt for a year and kind of just figure things out in your second year, but you seem to figure things out throughout the year. During your freshman season, I guess, what was just the experience that sticks out to you the most as a growth experience, whether it be on the court, off the court, or was there a moment you're yes, this is what I take away as my top moment freshman year?
Honestly, I think my biggest moment that I grew from earliest this year or last year was probably the Illinois game, when that was when I kind of like broke away a little bit and people started to kind of recognize a little bit. And then I just kept trying to build off that, and like I knew my spot in the rotation, so I was just trying to go out and just do as much as I can whenever I get out there. But I think, yeah, like you said, once I got into the tournament, I just kind of let my basketball instincts take over, and then like it just did the rest. So, but I'd say the Illinois game is probably the tipping point.
Is that like when you started to become more like comfortable, I guess, or did you always feel like some level of comfort out there, even like early in the season?
That's probably like when I started getting comfortable. I'd say like the games that I feel really comfortable is when I go out like right away and I do something, like even if I get something little, like if I get a rebound right away, then like that's my like, I just use that to keep going. But definitely earlier in the year, there were some up and downs. Obviously, me being a freshman and coming in like not supposed to be playing right now, so it was an adjustment. But I think once I got going, it just became natural. So.
And how many times have you replayed that tip slam against USC? Because I think about it truthfully like every other day. That was a very fun moment. I like to think about, just great Spartan moments in my downtime like a normal adult. But how often do you just think of that sweet moment? Because, God, that was euphoric for me over here at least.
Well, I told you I'm a home guy, so I don't think about it too much.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely going to be like one of those moments that sticks with me probably for my rest of my life, just because like it's one of the like those first big moments for me. And then what makes it even better is the camera panning to me, and I'm getting coach like running and screaming at me for a sec, like thinking that I got teed up. So that's what probably makes the whole thing better. But
I want to talk about that because, what was Izzo yelling? Was he? Because I couldn't figure out for life. Like, was he fired up? Was he, hey, great job, Coop, way to go, man? Or was he like, the hell are you doing, kid? Like, let's maybe dangle on the rim a little less. Like, what was he saying?
So I think I'm gonna get praised for coming out and doing something good. Like, so I'm like, I'm about to be like, yeah, let's go, coach. And then he's like, what are you doing? And like, I didn't hear the whistle. I didn't hear a text. So I'm so confused. So I think I got a text. So that's why I'm like kind of bummed out now. I'm like, all right, I just got coach yelling at me for something that I didn't even know happened. So then I go back out there. I'm like, they're not even shooting free throws. Like, what did I do?
Wow, confusion, mass confusion.
I think his coaching juices were just going. So there's not much you can do about that.
It's hard to turn off his coaching acumen, especially in March Madness. So, well, I guess we'll give the Hall of Fame coach a pass here.
Probably.
Maybe, I don't know. We're lenient people, I guess. But I kind of want to still talk about coach here because you guys have like sit down one-on-one conversations with Izzo as you guys go into the off season. Like, is that a thing that you guys do as a whole program?
Yeah. So we do. We'll do pre-summer meetings, right? Like what you want to get out of the summer. What do you think you can work on? Like, what should be some of your focal points to really like, focus on this and get better at this. And then we'll probably do some sort of mid-summer meeting and stuff with coach. But right now it's kind of laid back right now. He's in a good mood.
Yeah.
So
that's good. There we go. So what did you guys go over in that offseason? You obviously don't have to go into detail of every single thing you guys hit on in that conversation, but I guess like personally what were you looking to get out of the summer as you go into your sophomore season?
Yeah, so for me, what he's really stressing is just me getting more comfortable on my offensive game, being able to, just get it in the post and not just be a guy on the scouting report that is, all right, he's going to get the ball, he's going to look the pass and ball screen right away, or he's going to do this and this, and just really working on my upper body frame, like getting stronger in the weight room, just because, I got that first experience of what it takes to battle these big guys. So getting my upper body in tune with, my lower body, which has been a strong point with what I've been doing, are probably some of the big things. And obviously getting more efficient, like shooting wise, being able to stretch the floor a little bit. So.
Right on. And we're going to get more to actually the weight room talk here in a hot segment. First, Carson, I hate to do this. You didn't get teed up, but we got to send you to the bench because I need to talk to people's ears off about eBay Motors. Gang, for a championship team, just, hey, maybe like our Michigan State Spartans this upcoming year, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits just right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know that the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop at eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, Lordy, that's a lot of parts. You will be back in the game in no time. And after all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. So get the right parts, the right fit, the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available for U.S. customers. Eligible items apply. Exclusions apply as well. Let's get Carson Cooper back in the mix here. Carson, who would you say is the motor of this team? Let's just go along with that eBay Motors theme there. Who's the motor of this team? You like that little segue there?
Yeah,
that's probably a little lame. But
I've been really liking the way AJ and Tyson have been running this team so far in the offseason. I think the way they've even, they're making our freshmen 10 times better with how hard they're playing on defense, how much they're getting into them in practice, like ultimately getting them better, but just the way they're forcing us to do the little things right it's exciting for me because I know that those guys are going to be with me on the court out there.
Oh yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's feeling really, really smooth like during practice. So
how competitive are those practices? Because obviously you guys are incredibly talented, but yeah, having the quote unquote old guys like AJ and Tyson, I mean, those guys like having two coaches on the court basically. How fierce are these practices even in the summer?
Yeah, so we just got out of practice just right before this, and it was probably one of the probably better practices we've had this summer so far, and a lot of it it's really physical, like probably more than most people think with the off season. Like just knowing we're trying to get each other better, and we're trying to show that we can do this and this, especially with how much depth we have this year. Like we're all fighting for different things, so just. I think that's what the edge, like everybody has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder now because of how many guys we have and so that's what makes it pretty competitive.
And speaking of the physicality, what we talked about before the break there, gaining weight in the off season. About like 10 minutes before we started recording, I saw on Twitter that you posted a pic of you on some weight machine that I'm sure anyone that lifts weights would know what it is. I'm not one of those people, but regardless. Look, I don't have to know weightlifting to know that your arms look like SpongeBob anchor arms. Like there's been some bulk added over there, Carson. So how much have we put on in weight, or is it not even like a weight thing that you want to see by the end of the offseason? It's more just like, what are you looking to get out of the weight room this offseason, I guess?
So when I came here my freshman year, I was at 219.
Okay.
And I don't know what percentage body fat. I ended freshman year at like 6.5% body fat, and I think like 132, something like that. Coach gave me the goal. I don't know if this is even possible for me with how much my metabolism is, but he wants me up to like 145 range. But I'm kind of flirting around that 140 range right now. But like, I basically fell in love with upper body days in the weight room. So it's just it's fun for me. So I mean, hopefully I can get around that 6% body fat percentage again, and work and just keep getting stronger.
There we go. Hey, best of luck to you out there. Hey, that's not the lifestyle for me, but hey, it looks like you have no problem, hitting the weights in the gym and everything. Speaking of, just like what you were as a freshman. Hey, this new crop of freshmen, Carson, I've heard they're okay. I've heard they're pretty good with the four kids right here. Which one freshman, when you see them play in person, are you like, oh my God, I knew he was good. I didn't know he was this good though. Who's been surprising this offseason?
Obviously, like all those guys they play basketball a little bit, so they know how to play.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I think obviously we've all seen Cohen's highlights and stuff, but like seeing that in person is kind of crazy. Like I don't think it's gotten like old yet.
Okay.
So I think just seeing that in person is kind of unreal. But I'd say like someone like Jeremy Fears has been doing a really good job with handling, like I said earlier, like the AJ and Tyson's presence on defense and working to like, you know, be a little bit of a more of a leader and more of like a more comfortable with the ball. So he's been playing really well in practice, and obviously Booker's been playing really well. He's been shooting the heck out of the ball lately.
Okay.
And like it's easy to see how much they've all grown since like the first week they got here, and they're a lot less sore now after the weight room sessions. They're getting a little bit more acclimated now than they were, but no, I'm really excited to have these guys with me.
And, you know, practice isn't the only time you guys compete this time of year. You're also doing the Moneyball Pro-Am. You're with the good fellas over there. I'm just curious, and this could be an incredibly stupid question. We'll find out by the end of this answer here. You guys talked with, like, Tom before or after the games. Is he, like, checking in, being like, hey, nice game, or hey, you got to work on this Moneyball? Or, like, what's Coach's relationship like with you guys when it comes to Moneyball Pro-Am? Or is he just completely hands-off with it?
No, he lets us do our thing.
Okay.
He'll just tell us, like yesterday we had practice before in Moneyball, and he'll just tell us, you know, just keep going out there, just keep, you know, just having fun out there and showing that you're having a good time. And just the big thing is it's not really on the court stuff. A lot of it is just interacting with the fan base there, just because it's the big piece, and a lot of the fans being able to see us up and close and personal, be able to talk with us, you know, get stuff signed and take pictures and stuff. So that's really what I go there to do, and I still like going out there and not having somebody breathing on my shoulder about stuff. Like I don't even want to look at my 3-point percentage right now because half the shots I'm shooting are like step back threes and stuff. But I just have fun out there. So.
When can we expect the step back three to be part of your game, like in January and February, like in Big Ten play? What this upcoming year, can we pencil it on for that, or do we got to wait a few years?
That might be next year or 2 years from now. I don't want to put a time frame on it, but I wouldn't expect it this year. So after a great dunk in March Madness, Izzo reams you out. What would his reaction be? Let's call it like round one this year. You guys are up 10 in the second half, and you try a nice, you know, Kobe fadeaway baseline 3-pointer. Tom's reaction is what when you come back to the bench? What do you expect from that? Don't ever shoot that crap again, probably. But I know I'm not. It depends if I make it.
Sure.
He's not saying anything. But if I hit rim and it, you know, it goes out, then I'm probably not stepping foot back in that game, to be honest. Unless I'm.
Yeah.
It depends. It's all scenarios right now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, let's just find out. Just do it this March and find out for us. What's the worst that could happen? He breaks a clipboard over your head. Like, please, okay, come on.
Yeah.
It'll
could be worse
I'm sure.
that.
Before we let you out the door here, and again, thanks for being so generous with your time. Really appreciate you, man. I got to hit on two things here. One, hey, we got new ink over there. We're starting to get just more of a presence out there, Carson. It's not just the muscles, but yeah, that's right, the forearm tat. What's that all about? Like, is there any symbolism behind it, or was it just like, hey, this looks pretty sick? So
yeah, so I also I have this one. This is my first one. It's my favorite Bible verse, Philippians 4:13. But this is my second one. It's I got four different lines, like basically intersecting, and then I got like each one of my family's initials surrounded it. So
love it.
That's what it kind of symbolizes. So yeah, arm sleeve on the way, maybe. We'll see.
There we go. How bad does it hurt? Because that's for me. Like, I always said, like, hey, if MSU wins a Rose Bowl when I'm a student there, and that's how old I am. They won that Rose Bowl when I was a student there. I said I'd get a Gruff Sparty tattoo. But Carson, not only am I a wimp and I don't like pain, but I'm also a coward. I never got it. How bad does a tattoo hurt though? Like, should I be having second thoughts about this?
I guess it kind of depends on where you get it. Like this one didn't hurt too bad because my arm just went numb after it laying down for so long.
That's good.
but this one kind of hurt towards the inside because it's all like weak skin down there. So that one kind of stung a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's like someone with like a long nail like digging into your skin.
Well, do you know what? If you guys win a national championship this year, then I'll actually do it. Okay, how about that?
Well, I can hold you to that. I can hold you to it.
Please do. Yeah, we'll meet you in the middle right there. And the last thing, this is our second time chatting. The other time was on another show, SD4L. But by the end of that show, you included that you worked at a place that is very sacred to me. Little Caesars. Back in the day, Carson. Are you sick of eating Little Caesars, or is there anything like? Are there any off the menu items, or are there any other like tidbits that you could share from your experience working at the holy land of Little Caesars that you could share with me right now? And please don't ruin it for me, please.
No,
I beg you.
I won't ruin it for you. It's not too bad. I just working there for 3 months. I'd say I had enough Little Caesars for probably the rest of my life.
Okay.
Like, I'm being honest. I don't think I might have had one Little Caesars pizza since then, and that was like 4 years ago.
Wow, shoot.
Maybe 3 years ago, but that's like, I don't think I'd be working in a fast food chain anytime soon.
Okay, fair enough. I did my time at McDonald's for 3 years back at the end of my high school days, so I'm sure what I saw there was maybe a little different than what you see at, again, Little Caesars. Just a fine establishment over there. Great pizza over there. But hey, this has also been a great chat, Carson. Can't thank you enough. Is there anything you want to plug? I mean, besides obviously the autograph signing going on this Sunday, Pro Sports Zone. Love going over there. I'm going to try to make my way over there. But anything else you want to plug before we let you go, man?
No, nothing really. Just I'd hope to see you guys out of Moneyball, and just don't be afraid to come up to us. We love to talk to you guys. So other than
there
that,
we go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I got to try to make my way over there. Hopefully next week I can make my way over there. But yeah, it seems like a great time. But hey, Carson, thanks again for your time, man. You've been awesome. Best of luck the rest of this offseason. Best of luck at Moneyball. And best of luck at that baseline 3-point shot you will be taking in March. If you don't mind plugging us too, just scream Locked On Spartans as you shoot. And I'm sure Tom will be over the moon about that. But hey, until then, good luck the rest of the offseason, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You got it. We appreciate you. Huge thanks to our guy, Carson Cooper. Always awesome to have a guest on. It's even cooler when they were a Michigan State athlete, but it is special when, well, they're currently at Michigan State getting ready for a big season ahead. So thank you, Carson Cooper. Again, hey, Laurel Park Plaza over in Livonia, Pro Sports Zone this Sunday. Go ahead and get your autographs. All right, gang. But before we get to the big news this week of, yes, alcohol sales in Spartan Stadium. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, you notice I'm rocking my USA soccer hat. Friday night, 9 p.m., USA versus Vietnam. If you want to get in on the action, USA is minus 20,000 to win. Now, if you want to bet on a draw, 70 to 1. If for some reason you want to root for Vietnam and you want to bet on them, that is 100 to 1 odds. Go do it all at FanDuel. All right. Hey, massive news. You already know I'm pretty fired up about this, and you most likely already know this news by now, but beer and liquor and wine sales are approved for Michigan State this year, or will it happen this year? We'll get to that in a little bit. But yes, guys, I mean, I'm fired up about it. Most likely you are fired up about it. I mean, Gretchen Whitmer did sign this bipartisan bill. Both sides came together to work this through. So if there is one thing in this country that we can unite ourselves over and not just bicker back and forth about, it's like a $14 stadium beer. So that's good to know. That's where the line is for civility in this country. But hey, you know, who am I to complain about this? Because look, this is great. We've talked about this time to time here on the show, but all I'm trying to do is just not have that second half hangover, guys. And yes, if that comes for a $13 beer, well, then so be it. That's fine by me. And also, hey, you know, maybe this is going to push people to not binge drink their face off before they enter Spartan Stadium. I know I've been guilty of it time to time where, hey, all right, we got 15 minutes till kickoff. I'm walking to Spartan Stadium. There's no booze inside there, or at least not supposed to be. So let me go ahead and just crush these 3 Miller Lights, shot a Fireball, and a 2-hearted IPA on the way over to the game, and then the first quarter's a blur. But look, maybe you've been there, maybe you haven't, but that can be the behavior of some folks in the stadium. knowing that there's beer in there, we'll maybe curb that. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to say that's going to curb it for everyone, but hey, you know what? I think the majority, it's going to work out that way. And also, hey, let's just be honest. It would be nice to have something just to take the edge off during these stressful games. Let's say that CMU goes into halftime, God forbid, with a 17-14 lead. You can name your price on what you want to charge for a beer at that halftime. So look, it's been at sporting events forever. Now it's going to be coming to colleges because Michigan State was one of the last few Big Ten programs to not allow liquor sales. So that is into effect now. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what, guys? There is one more set of pros and cons here that I need to go over. And, well, this is the pro side of things. Just that sweet, sweet money, that you get from liquor sales and alcohol sales. Last year, Iowa grossed $3.2 million in their first year of liquor sales. And that was $2.5 million just from football alone. Just in 7 football home games. I'm sorry, for the 2021-22 season for Iowa was their first year. They grossed $2.5 million. And hey, if there's one thing that colleges like, if there's one thing that anyone in this world likes, it's more money. So this is going to be a financial boon for Michigan State. Ohio State, back in 2016, their first year, they netted $1.1 million. And yes, I mean, both at Iowa, Ohio State, other Big Ten programs that have turned in reports on this, there have been lower citations for game day drunkenness, drunken disorderly conduct, all that stuff, because again, I think it goes back to the people aren't binge drinking as much is the thought behind it. So now, will you be handed a beer by a concession stand worker on September 1st for Central Michigan versus Michigan State? Probably not, but not impossible. Now, there are some hurdles here for Michigan State to have beer in the stadium for this upcoming season. Crystal Nurse of Lansing State Journal wrote a great piece about this. I'm just going to pick out a quote from MSU spokesman Dan Olson. Now, he says, quote, "The university acknowledges the new law. There are a few steps for us to take before we're able to offer this option at Michigan State, and we are working through some of the logistics related to that. We cannot speak definitively at this time on whether we would be ready by the fall. We are, however, committed to identifying a process by which this can happen, keeping safety and the fan experience in mind." Now, people in the know that I've talked to, they say it is probably doubtful that we get it for this fall. There's another hurdle ahead too. The MSU Board of Trustees are not scheduled to meet again until mid-September, so they would have to call a special meeting beforehand to iron a few wrinkles out, I'm sure. And then also, beer and liquor and wine and, all that liquid gold cannot be served to you by a volunteer with this law. And MSU concession workers, by and large, are volunteers looking to make money for their organizations, of course. They cannot just serve beer. They have to be actual employees that go through training, how to serve it, when to identify people overserved, all that stuff. So I don't know how long that training process takes. I don't know how long it takes for MSU to hire them, to go through the training process. I don't know, but there are a few hurdles to, have Michigan State selling beer by that Central Michigan game. Now, however, maybe it does happen at some point this fall. It's not unheard of for a program to serve alcohol in the middle of the season. Penn State last year just did it. The first time they served booze at their stadiums was October 1st. So they started about 4 or 5 weeks after the season started. So maybe that's the line that Michigan State takes here. So again, it's very exciting news for sure, but maybe we have to wait a little bit. And also, I do want to talk about the opposition as well, because I'm not going to be blind to people that are on the other side of the aisle that really don't like seeing this happen at Michigan State. Now, some of it is a little, I guess not really an argument. Like the people that say, oh, it's just overpriced beer. You're happy to pay $12 for a beer? I don't know. There's no bylaw within this bill that says you have to buy this beer. You can just go about your day without buying a single one. But yes, gladly I will pay $12 for a beer at Spartan Stadium. And hey, you know what? In my mind, that means I'm giving back to the university. I'll try that as a tax write-off come next April 15th. The other complaint too is underage kids, underage students are going to get their hands on it. It's going to be easier for them to get beer in the student section now. Anyone that's saying that, guys, I got some news. Let's all huddle in here. Underage kids getting booze in the student section is more of a guarantee on game days than seeing Sparty on the field. That is a tale as old as time there in the student section. It's not all hunky-dory. Everyone's following the rules all the time. So I don't think that's a big issue. Now, one issue that, of course, we're going to be serious about here is that one group opposing this bill was the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Clearly, obviously, you could see why they would be opposed to this rule. Look, this is something that has been going on in professional stadiums for as long as probably any of us watching or listening can remember. I mean, of course, Comerica Park or Tiger Stadium, if you're that old to remember that, or Ford Field, the Silver. I mean, it happens at pro venues. So I'm not going to sit here and scream at why Mothers Against Drunk Driving should be happy about this. No, I get it from that point of view, especially if you have a loved one that has, been seriously injured or lost their life in a drunk driving accident. To that, I mean, the only thing I can really say is, like, guys, gals, just be smart. We just want that one beer to stave off, some second half sluggishness. This isn't 5 beers in the fourth quarter before hopping on 696 and heading home. Like, I don't mean to lecture you. I think we all know this. You don't have to hear it from me, but let's not ruin this. Like, let's be responsible about this. I mean, this is a very, very cool thing going on. It's going to benefit the university, maybe benefit your game day experience, but just don't go overboard with it. Have a designated driver. Be smart about how much you are consuming. Mix in a water. Mix in some pizza every once in a while. I mean, so that's it. I don't know how much that's going to resonate with people. I think most of us know this, but hey, let's not ruin this. Let's not turn this great thing into something really horrific. So there you have it. Again, when will it happen? Maybe that first game, probably not. Maybe during the season. Who knows? Maybe it'll be basketball season. I don't know. But hey, it's on the table. It's here. So yes, thank you, politicians. Way to rally together. Finally did it. We all agreed, or most of us agreed on something. How special is that? All right, gang. Hey, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back on Monday. We have so many mailbag questions to go through. I'm so sorry if it's been a while since we have even checked in on that. There's just been a lot of fun news and fun interviews in the meantime. But yes, we will keep chipping away at your mailbag questions. So hey, until then, enjoy your weekend. Love you all. Go Green.